the window for championships are small. That's why when you have an opportunity, you take it. That's something Georgia State has done, Little Rock has done, and that's something Troy has done in the last 5 years. As for the Louisiana men's basketball team, they haven't been able to capture a Sun Belt Conference championship since 2014, despite having one of their best years in program history and top conference talent over that stretch. The only question that needs to be answered? Why? Hello, and welcome to this Ragin Wire video essay. In this video, we will explore what has been working for the teams that have won a Sun Belt championship in the past 5 years, and where exactly the Ragin Cajuns men's basketball team fits into all this. After looking at each season, the players, and the conference runs for every Sun Belt champion over the last 5 years, I narrowed it down to 3 things that have simply worked for them: defense, ability to rely on top players, and overcoming untimely injuries. And when you look at Louisiana, they have had solid defensive years, but as the focus for head coach Bob Marlin turned to three-point offense, the defense has taken a backseat over the years. And I also mentioned one of the Ragin Cajuns' best years in program history. They only allowed 70.8 points per game in 2017-2018 and won a program record 27 wins. But that's when the ability to rely on top players and avoiding untimely injuries comes into play. Jakeenan Gant, a junior transfer at the time in 2018, was named the Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Year that season, but was limited due to illness in the conference tournament. He played 3 minutes in their win over Texas State and 9 minutes in their loss to UT Arlington. Jonathan Stove, the senior leader off the bench, their leading scorer in the second unit at 11 points per game in 19 minutes, he suffered a high ankle sprain at the end of the regular season. He only played 11 minutes against Texas State and 5 minutes in their loss to UT Arlington. 2 of the team's top players went down, thus leading to a historic season cut short. This past season, as the Sun Belt seemed to be anyone's game when it came to tournament time, the Ragin Cajuns could possibly redeem last season's tournament run. But untimely, key injuries happened once again. Let's look at Malik Marquetti. He vastly improved since joining Louisiana as a junior transfer last season. Marquetti was averaging 15.1 points per game on 45.2% from three-point range. He went down in their win over Southeastern Louisiana, and it was the game before conference play with a season-ending knee injury. Along with his scoring, Marquetti's perimeter defense was also missed, as the team allowed the most points in the conference this past season. Just like 2017-2018, the Ragin Cajuns lost another key player down the stretch. Marcus Stroman, the team's leading assist man, was limited in this year's conference tournament after injuring his hamstring in the regular season finale against Arkansas State. Stroman still delivered 13 assists, but he only had 4 points in the game. Louisiana was 4-1 when Stroman scored 20 points or more, and only 3-2 when he had 10 or more assists in a game. So Louisiana missed a healthy Stroman and Marquetti as they once again saw their tournament run come to an early end after a 70-69 loss to South Alabama in their first tournament game. Which now brings us to Georgia State and how they've won the Sun Belt Conference Championship 3 out of the last 5 years, along with Little Rock winning in 2016 and Troy in 2017. The 2014-15 Georgia State team allowed 62 points per game, and their duo of R.J. Hunter and Ryan Haro combined for 38 points per game that year. When Haro was limited to a hamstring injury, Georgia State got 18 points from Kevin Ware in the title win, while the team held Georgia Southern to 36 points. Little Rock in 2015-16 held opponents to just 60 points per game in their title year. Their by-committee offense featured 3 scorers averaging 10 or more points per game and relied on their third leading scorer Roger Woods in their championship game against ULM. Woods recorded 19 points and 9 rebounds in their 70-50 title win over ULM. 2017. Troy allowed 72 points per game in their championship year, but Troy's top 3 scorers in Justin Vernado, Wesley Person, and Jeremy Holloman each scored in double figures in each conference tournament game. Troy won 4 games to win the Sun Belt title that year, and their ability to rely on their top players and avoid untimely injuries were reasons they went all the way. Georgia State then won back-to-back conference championships in 2018 and 2019. DeMarcus Simons, Devin Mitchell, and Jeff Thomas, along with a defense that allowed 67 points per game, won Georgia State the 2018 title. In 2019, Georgia State had 5 players that averaged double figures, so they were able to overcome their defense, allowing 72 points per game, and went on to win their second straight Sun Belt Conference title. And that's it. Sometimes it's a perfect storm of all three things at work, and sometimes it's being strong enough in two of the areas to make up for the third one. Sure, sports can be unpredictable, and it does involve luck. Louisiana cannot control untimely injuries to key players, but maybe sacrificing some of its perimeter-oriented offense for more of a defense can allow more players to get involved on both ends, and they will be ready to step up in case of injury. There are things the Ragin Cajuns cannot control, but there are things that they can in their pursuit to win a Sun Belt Conference championship.